Got it.
All right, so once we are getting these impressions and followers, like how do you actually turn that into money, right? That's the hard part because on any social media platform, you can figure out how to beat the algorithm and just win all day. But a lot of these creators who have tens or hundreds of thousands of followers are actually totally broke. So the first thing I'll say is that what is helpful with this is honestly, your business should sell something that aligns with your posts, right? Um, Ghostwriting is a good example of this. And honestly, it's one of the reasons I decided to get into ghostwriting because I was noticing of my friends who are making insane amounts of money and growing companies quickly. One thing a lot of them seem to have in common is that they have thousands of engaged followers on Twitter or Instagram, and whatever are talking about on Twitter or Instagram directly leads into making sales for their business, right? So with ghostwriting, I thought, what is something that I could sell on LinkedIn that almost anything I wrote on LinkedIn, people would view that and it would lead to them wanting to work with me, right? And that's what I'm seeing. So, um, when with both of your, I know both of you are taking on clients on the side. Well, on the main, I guess, because this job is kind of your side. um, I encourage you to engineer your following and your offering to think about, all right, I already have these people on LinkedIn who follow me. What would they buy from me if I just started selling it today? And building a whole business around that question is a major hack. So once you do that, there's a couple of different approaches to your content. You can you can post stuff that's highly personality driven, and you can post stuff that's highly expertise driven. These are both really good examples because these are both my friends, and both of them are running companies that make more than $1 million a year purely based off of LinkedIn. Um, Eric is now, he's like a coach, but before this, he was selling virtual assistant services, and he literally in just a couple of years he grew a company that made multiple millions of dollars a year. The crazy thing about his posts is that he almost never talks about his service of virtual assistants. He almost never has a post that's like, my virtual assistants are the best and here's why. Most of his posts are like this one. I've had my eyes on getting a Tesla for 3 years now. I love the acceleration, the handling, and the autopilot. They're fun cars to drive, and I like the idea of skipping the gas station. Today, I put $500 down. He goes on to tell this story about how he gets a Tesla, ends up not realizing that it's not a smart financial move and trading it in. So he goes back for this cheapo car. And as you can see, it just went huge 5,200 engagements. Um, and this is all Eric posts. And when I was on the call with him, he even said, like, this is his strategy to just post likable, personable stuff. And then people come and want to work with him because they just think that he's a fun, cool guy. So the other example of this, though, is Matthew Brown. You guys probably both know him.
Yep.
Um, really successful ghostwriter. And he's really good at like exclusively talking about LinkedIn posts, getting leads, making money on LinkedIn. You'll almost never see a post on here of him talking about a fun hike that he went on, you know. What's interesting though is that both of these guys have made insane money from LinkedIn. So that leads me to believe that you can make it work either way. My conclusion is that which is better, whichever one makes you more excited to post consistently, right? Um, if I'm miserable posting personal stuff and I just want to talk about ghostwriting, then I should just talk about ghostwriting. If it makes me miserable to only write about business when I want to talk about my life thoughts, which is true for me, then I should talk about my life thoughts. The most important thing is that you are hyped up on whatever you post about and that you're consistently showing up and posting about that. So I really think you can make it work either way. Let me dive a little bit deeper into my personal philosophy. So, and you guys may have seen me talk about this with clients in our calls. I use this example with every single client. So I believe that there are 3 different groups of people in the sales funnel, and they all need to be talked to in a different way. So the people at the top of the funnel, they need to know me before they like and trust me. So if they have literally not even seen a post from me before, then it doesn't really matter how good the rest of my funnel is, because I'll probably just have like the same couple hundred of people who are the only ones who see my stuff. But number 2, um, they need to like and trust me before they believe I'm a great ghostwriter. So I'm kind of like taking a page from Eric's book. I just want to show that I'm fun, I'm trustworthy, I'm a fun guy. And then number 3, once they know that, then I want them to know that I'm a killer at getting leads. I'm really good at doing my job. They need to know I'm a great ghostwriter before they become clients. So when I plan posts for clients, this is the same model I follow. And that's why some of our clients are talking about parenting or their car, and then, but all of it is moving down to get this, right? So let me show you an example. So of some posts that fit into each part of this strategy. Posts that go viral and make people like me. You guys probably saw this one about reading Dopamine Nation, did pretty good. Got almost 600 engagements and then 14 reposts. Pretty cool. Lots of comments and 51,000 impressions. In this post, I talk about the book that I like, my biggest insight, and I actually don't even mention that I'm a ghostwriter or that I sell this service. One thing that's cool about this though is that directly from this post, I had at least 2 people book a call with me. And honestly, there might have been a couple more as well, 1 or 2 others who are like really high quality people, because they see this post and they're like, "Oh, you're a good writer. I should hire you to write for me." So pretty cool that that happened. They just went to my page. Another one thing I'll mention too is that I love having this up here, uh, because they instantly read this and know what I sell. And if they don't want to go to my profile, they can just click visit my website from here and book a call with me, or whatever they want to do, they can do from here. So I think it's like $15 a month or something to get this button. You have to be a premium member, but if you guys want to get business from LinkedIn, I highly recommend you get this. And honestly, we should make sure that all of our clients have it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I don't think we have done. So I think most of them have it anyway, but yeah, with the clients you guys are over, maybe verify that and let me know if it's something that we need to work on. I'll try to look as well. All
Okay.
right, so after this, 51,000 people know who I am. They've seen my name. Next, posts that show I know LinkedIn and writing. So this is just me trying to demonstrate expertise in my industry, right? And the cool thing is that after 51,000 people saw that and they commented or they messaged me, when I post again, LinkedIn has a much better idea of who to show the post to, so that people like it.
Yeah.
So here in this post, I tell a story about how my friend saw a typo in a job application and it made him favor that candidate because he knew that candidate wasn't AI. And then at the bottom, I give my advice about how to write like a human and not AI. So establishing myself as a good writer, screenshot. If you ever need a picture and you can't think of anything, a screenshot of a message you received or an email you received, these always do so well, by the way. It's such a good hack. um, I also love to just like make them up with this tool. I don't know if you guys have used this, but I fake text message. Like if I was gonna do a post about this training, um, you guys both ask good questions. Like Sean asked, like uh, I I'm trying to figure out how to make or how to get more clients from LinkedIn. What works for you? And then I add my next one. Great question. There are two approaches. Oh, people are just nosy. And when you share a screenshot of a personal conversation, they love to read it. I can
Yeah.
guarantee that a screenshot of this fake text message would do numbers along with whatever I wanted to post. So, highly recommend that you check out that tool. Use this for yourselves and for our clients. And yeah, and it's nice because we don't have to ask the client for a screenshot. If they tell us about a conversation they had, I feel like it's perfectly ethical to make a version of this in text as long as it represents what they were talking about. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about this middle of funnel post, people who know me a little bit, but I'm trying to gain more of their trust. And as you can see, this one did 17,000 impressions. So not 50,000 like the first one, but a little bit closer to my area of expertise. And I trade more of that for the impressions. And then bottom of funnel, posts that make it clear you should hire me. This is where I'm just like hard selling the service and saying you should get a ghostwriter, right? I don't need a ghostwriter. I can write my own LinkedIn posts. And then I talk about, sure, you can do it yourself. And you can see this one only got 2,000 impressions, right? The funny thing is that even though this only got 2,000 impressions, I'm pretty sure I got a lead or two from this one as well. So impressions isn't everything. And this is a good example of how the more you talk about your business, the fewer impressions you're probably going to get, but that's okay. That's part of the game, right?
Mhm.
Let me share something else too that I'm noticing with um, succeeding on LinkedIn. I'm finding more and more that short is the move. Like this length of post, this length of post, something that I guess this is the longest, but increasingly I want something that fits inside of just 10 or 15 lines inside so you hardly even have to scroll. I'm realizing that people just have such short attention span. I think that if I was a celebrity or I was famous, then I could tell like a 10 paragraph long story about some struggle that I've had and people would read the whole entire thing. But for me and for our clients, I want most of our posts to be about this length. And we'll see better results as we do that, I believe. The other thing too is that in all three of these cases, I think the picture was a huge part of why the posts did well. There's just no substitute for a good picture. You'll notice none of these look like, all of these really apply well to what we're talking about and they have something interesting about them. It's not just like an afterthought type picture. So always get that first hook in with an amazing picture. But most importantly, people follow you for entertainment, not to be sold to, right? So with our clients, with ourselves, you need to remember that first and foremost, if you accomplish nothing else, just entertain your readers. Give them a joke, give them a crazy story, give them something interesting that they haven't thought about. That's why people go to LinkedIn. So if you align with what people want to, if you give to LinkedIn what people want to get out of LinkedIn, that's how you have the most success. And as you become more expert, you learn how to intertwine entertainment with sales and conversions. But that's the first rung we have to hit. So yeah, that's the presentation. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No
Well,
question. Oh,
if I
go
had
ahead.
questions, sorry, if I had questions, it would be around. I mean, I don't like to call myself a content writer, even though I have certain knowledge around content writing. So the question that I have around would be around this funnel of a thing. I mean, like I've heard it, I've tried to, you know, try to understand it, but I don't think I've gotten like a good grasp of how to implement. um okay, I say, okay, this is bottom of the funnel, top of the funnel. How do I incorporate that in my content, weekly, monthly? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, good question. I think it's more of an art than a science. Um,
Okay.
like because some weeks I'll have like 3 posts that are top of funnel and 1 post that is middle of funnel. Other weeks I'll do 2 posts that are middle of funnel and 1 post that is bottom of funnel. So
Okay.
as long as as long as all 3 of these are being posted to some degree, I think the strategy still works. And you should just post stuff that you're excited to post about, but also remember that you want each part of the funnel to be addressed at least once every couple of weeks or once a month.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I had that similar question, and something that I always try to look for is that, like, what is the kind of proportion or like the percentage of posts that should be in each part of the funnel? And most people tend to say something like, oh, the top of funnel stuff should be a little bit more, bottom of funnel stuff a bit less, or even
Yeah.
don't post bottom of funnel stuff and save that for your newsletter or things like that. So yeah, I guess that's generally what I've heard. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess my biggest takeaway here is the people don't want to be sold to, because I'm always posting bottom of funnel posts in my content. It's like 90% bottom funnel. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely gotta write a bit more entertainment stuff and um uh engage people a bit more, not hard sell them, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, that's a great takeaway. um yeah, I mean, and it makes sense though, because you're not posting for fun on LinkedIn. You're posting because you're trying to grow. So it's interesting that sometimes the most direct path to growth is to actually just have a little bit more fun. Great thought.
I
All
guess
right.
yeah. On proportion, I'm thinking half and half right now. That's what I'm working towards, because it's always been so skewed towards bottom of funnel. Mine's gonna be
Yeah.
about half for reference. If yeah, that's what I've been trying to work towards.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think it depends too on like what your audience responds to, right? Because I think Eric Espinosa almost exclusively just does these 2 kinds of posts, and
Yeah,
people follow him because they know that he does these 2 kinds of posts, and so they like him. That's what they want to get from him. Whereas Sean, it sounds like you have more of a proclivity to post more in these 2 categories, kind of like
exactly.
Matthew
Yeah,
Brown as well, and I think you can make that work. um but whatever people respond well to, that's what you should do more of. So
right.
if this works, then maybe you only really need these couple of categories.
Follow what works. I guess follow the data.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Navigator.
Follow the data and just give people what they originally followed you for. Because if Matthew Brown's started all of a sudden just like talking all the time about stuff that doesn't have to do with business, a lot of his followers would be like, this is kind of weird. I don't know if I like this. And if Eric Espinosa started talking all the time about virtual assistants, then people would be like, oh, I followed you for the car posts. Now you're talking about business. I'm not really interested in that. So whatever you do, just kind of stick to your brand.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, you guys, thanks again for showing up today. And yeah, I think this has been really fun, and I hope it's been valuable for you. So keep going at it. I appreciate both of you a ton, and I'm so grateful that you work with me. So thank you.
I also like working with you, so yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
Yeah.
you too.
All right. Have a good
Yeah,
rest
right.
of your
Hey,
day
have a
good
and afternoon.
See you guys. Good night for me.
Ryan, can I get the recording? I'll need
Yeah.
it like to go over.
Yeah, I'll share it with you. You got it.
Okay.
All right.
And the links to those posts that you had in the presentation as well.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll
All
share
right,
the
thank you.
slideshow with the presentation.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Good
Bye.
night, Sean.